while you're doing this, we're going to transition into writing. So before I get questions, we're going to forego our brain break today, but we have the opportunity to get on computers to type, okay? So we just have a lot of work we got to do so we get to that, okay? So go ahead right now, take out your outline that you did for homework and your writer's notebook. That is all you need. Started at 10:30. 11. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, 30 seconds. I'm looking for you to have your notebook out and ready, as well as your outline from homework. I think the guitar has his material out and ready. Laura's getting herself organized. 10 more seconds to have your outline out and ready, and your notebook ready. Second row, you need to bring your outline with you and your notebook when we transition in 10 seconds. Thank you. It's an excellent transition. So in 5, the second row is going to come to the carpet. 4, you're bringing your notebook and your outline. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Second row moving to the carpet. In 30 seconds, everyone's writing. All right. Put them up. You have 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So, in writing yesterday, we started building out our body paragraphs. We started outlining them and thinking about, like, what are our reasons that we have these opinions that we have about our topic, right? Why are we trying to persuade people of a certain view? Okay? So we started to outline, we looked at our evidence, okay, explained it. So today we're going to be looking at how to actually, like, start to craft our introduction a little bit by coming up with a solid claim. So our real reason, or the way we're going to argue our opinion, okay? So it's not just saying, like, I think the Redskins should change their name, right? It's going to be a lot more to make it really powerful, so our reader, our audience, thinks that we have a valid argument, okay? So we're going to be working on crafting that today, and then at the end we're going to start drafting our essay on the computer, right? So we're going to take our outline and start actually putting it into organized paragraphs. So I know in social studies you guys have done a lot of, like, claim or opinion work in your writing, right? And coming up with, like, how you feel about something, or what your argument or opinion is, or your position, I think is what you called it in social studies. So this is going to be very similar, right? We're picking our position on our topic and making sure we know how we're going to argue it, right? That it makes sense with our reasons. 2 minutes left. When you're done, keep your notebook open. Thank you. Excellent job, Robin. Seconds. asking neighbor if you still need to get information. I can tell Jerome's a bio already. Okay, tell John is ready, Matar is ready, thank you. Alright, so go ahead and just silently or quietly ask your neighbor if you need some help. What I'm going to show you is what we're going to do next in our notebook. So you do not need to copy mine. I'm going to explain it, and then we're going to be doing our own together. Okay, so we're going to be creating kind of idea webs, right? This is a concept we're pretty familiar with. But this is how we want to help us decide like how we really feel about our topic, why we really feel that way. So we're going to put some of our emotions into it, some of the facts that we've learned through all of our reading of our articles to kind of come up with an overall consensus of how we feel about our topic. So in the center, I just put like the outline of my topic, right? We know I'm writing about the Redskins name change. So in the center, I don't really have my opinion, just the topic. And then I start to kind of brainstorm a couple facts that I've learned, things that I've learned in my reading that might help me decide like the best way to say my argument, right? So they said they've had the name for over 80 years, right? This is a fact that I learned in reading where we read about this. They've had it for like 81 years. So the name has been around for a long time. We've also read a lot in our articles that it's a racist term, right? It's derogatory to Native Americans. They take a lot of offense to it personally. Native youths have a higher depression rate. So I actually read this in one of my articles in my text ed packet that we haven't read yet, but that this is a case that they have that. So it just makes me think, like, imagine if you're already like predisposed to have higher depression, and then there's this football team or a term that like everyone uses all the time that's like offensive to you. And you know, when we're younger, we have like, everyone has a little bit of confidence issues at some point, right? I you know, still have some. There's things like we're insecure about. So just imagine being that, and then you have that name all the time. That's just another insecurity, right? So that's a fact that I picked up that was pretty important in my reading. And then other teams have changed offensive names. So by no means were the Redskins the only team that have ever had a name that's been controversial, right? Lots of teams had, and lots of teams have changed them, right? Lots of colleges have changed if they were the Indians, right? Cleveland is also kind of facing the same thing.
You name some teams
that were? Gosh, there was, I know there was a hockey team that changed. And then there was actually a college that I almost went to in Quinnipiac. It's called Quinnipiac. It's a little college in Connecticut. They were originally the Indians. They changed their name to the Braves, right? So they went from, because now Native Americans, it's not politically correct to call them Indians, so they changed it to show, right, to give respect to that community. Cleveland is still the Indians, so they are also facing this same thing. It's just not as like talked about, right? Because it's not necessarily like a racist term. Like it's just a term that they don't like to be, Native Americans don't like to be called anymore. They don't like to be referred to as Indians. But it's not like racist or offensive in the same way that Redskins is, right?
You said Cleveland, which
the baseball team. The baseball team. Cleveland Indians. Mm-hmm.
What about the hockey team?
Which one?
It's like, I know it's an Indian team.
Chicago Blackhawks. That's
But their mascot
is a Native American,
yeah.
right? So it's not, Blackhawks is not because I want to say it refers to either a specific tribe or like a chief, a leader. I can't remember exactly, but pretty much all the teams that have Native American type reference names or mascots are kind of under the gun of where it's going, right? We're just trying to kind of stay away from that in general. But, so, just notice I put some like facts or things I learned about, right? What else from our readings, like the last couple days or today, could we add to this? What are some other things that we've learned through our reading that we could add that could help us think about our argument, either for or against, right? John, what could we add?
That Biddy David and American doesn't like the picnic day for the Redskins.
Okay, so we could put on here that, right, like lots of, I'm just gonna abbreviate. Okay, so lots of them are offended, right? We've read about that a ton. What else could we add, Sarah?
Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to write this down.
No, you don't need to write this down. That's hard. What else could we add?
That